The first thing she noticed was the ribbon. Pale blue. Tied to her front gate. It looked gentle. Almost thoughtful. But she didn't own a pale blue ribbon. She stood there with groceries in her arms. And felt a warning without words. Inside, her phone buzzed once. No name. No message. Just silence. And still she whispered, "It's fine." That was the sentence that almost broke her life. Lena Warren liked clean counters and calm mornings. Not because life was perfect. Because she needed it steady. She worked with families for a living. She knew how fast things could fall apart. Her faith was real but quiet. The kind that lived in small prayers. That morning, she chose peace like a habit. And didn't notice how hard she was gripping it. But peace can become denial if we're not careful. She cut the ribbon off the gate slowly. Like it might leave a mark. Her neighbor, Mr. Harlan, watched from his porch. He didn't wave. He just stared. Lena lifted the ribbon to her nose. It smelled like fresh soap. That made it worse. It felt personal. She walked inside and placed it on the table. Then she laughed once, dry and forced. "Probably a kid," she said out loud. But her chest didn't believe her. Why would a kid choose her gate? Her mailbox felt heavier than usual. She slid out one plain envelope. No stamp. No return address. Just her name, written neatly. Inside was a single paper. Only one sentence. "Don't open the door for kindness." That was all. Lena stared at it until her eyes burned. Then she folded it and put it in a drawer. She whispered a quick prayer anyway. Not for protection. For calm. But calm isn't always safety. She called her friend Tessa after work. Tessa picked up on the first ring. Lena tried to sound casual. But the words came out shaky. Tessa went quiet for a beat. Then she said, "Don't ignore that." Lena rolled her eyes, even though no one saw. "I'm not ignoring it." Tessa sighed like she was tired already. "Lena, I work dispatch. People say fine right before it isn't." Lena stared at her sink and felt her pride rise like a wall. Why did correction feel like an insult? The next day, her living room lamp was turned. Not broken, just angled toward the hallway. Her shoes by the door weren't lined up. One was slightly behind the other. She told herself she was tired. She told herself she forgot. Then she saw her bathroom mirror. A tiny thumbprint at the bottom. Lena wiped it with a towel. Her hand shook halfway through. She prayed again, more honestly this time. "Lord, if I'm missing something, show me." The house stayed quiet. But her spirit didn't. Silence can still be an answer. She noticed him outside her usual cafe. Average height. Soft smile. Paper cup in hand. He didn't approach her. He just watched, like he recognized her. When she glanced again, he nodded. As if they shared a secret. Lena walked faster to her car. Her keys cut into her palm. She told herself it was nothing. A stranger. A coincidence. But later she found a coffee cup on her porch. The same brand. Same lid. No note. No footprint she could see. Just the cup, placed carefully. Her stomach turned cold. Not fear yet. Something sharper. Like a line had been crossed. That night she dreamed of her front door. It kept opening by itself. A voice called her name softly. Not cruel. Almost sweet. In the dream, she walked toward it. Because she believed it was safe. Then she saw her mother standing behind her. Her mother had been gone for years. Her mother didn't speak. She just shook her head once. Lena woke with tears on her cheeks. Her heart thudded like a warning drum. She sat on the edge of the bed and prayed with both hands open. "God, I'm listening." The words felt heavy and true. Why did she wait for a dream to take it serious? The next envelope was on her windshield, right under the wiper blade. No one else in the lot noticed. That made her feel exposed. She sat in the driver's seat and read it. Her throat tightened instantly. "You smile at strangers. That's your weakness." No signature. No threat. Just truth twisted. Her phone buzzed again. Still no name. Still no message. Lena didn't drive right away. She looked around like the air might blink. Then she did something she never liked doing. She called for help. Not dramatic. Not screaming. Just steady and clear. Tessa answered and said, "Stay where people can see you." Lena swallowed hard and said, "Okay." Why did okay sound like surrender and strength at once? That night, Lena sat with her Bible open. But she wasn't reading much. She kept thinking about how many warnings come quietly, and how often we explain them away. Some stories stay with us for a reason. Maybe because they sound like our own. Lena didn't know who was watching, but she knew she wasn't alone anymore. She wrote 3 numbers on a sticky note, and placed it by the door. Then she whispered, God, don't let me be stubborn, and felt the smallest release. What if humility was the first lock on the door? The next morning, Mr. Harlan stood by her fence. He looked older than usual. He held his hat in both hands, like he was bracing himself. "I saw somebody by your gate," he said. His voice was low and serious. Lena's stomach dropped. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" Mr. Harlan looked ashamed. "I thought I was mistaken." He described the man carefully. Average height. Soft smile. Coffee cup. Lena's mouth went dry. Because it matched. Mr. Harlan added one last thing. He moved like he knew the place. Lena stared at her front door and saw her home as a target. How long had this been building? That afternoon, someone knocked on her door. 2 light taps, polite and patient. Lena froze behind the hallway wall. Her heart pushed against her ribs. A woman's voice called out, "Hi, I'm from the neighborhood committee." Lena peeked through the side curtain. A woman stood there with a clipboard. Friendly hair. Warm smile. The kind of face that disarms you. Lena felt her hand reach for the lock. Then her dream flashed in her mind. Her mother's silent headshake. That one clear motion. Lena stepped back. She didn't open the door. She spoke through it instead. "Please leave it in the mailbox." The smile outside flickered. Just for a second. Then the woman walked away. No wave. No goodbye. Lena sank to the floor, shaking, and whispered, "Thank you, God." Why did refusing feel like surviving? Later, Tessa arrived with a serious face. She didn't come alone. A plain-clothed officer stood behind her. Calm eyes. Steady posture. They didn't say much at first. They listened while Lena showed the notes. The officer nodded slowly, like he had seen this pattern before. He explained it gently. Not to scare her. To wake her. Some people test boundaries with kindness. They study schedules. Habits. Open doors. Lena felt sick hearing it. Not from horror. From recognition. She remembered how she trusted easily. How she hated seeming rude. She whispered, "I thought being kind was right." The officer said, "Kind is right. But wise is also right." Lena bowed her head and breathed out a prayer she didn't know she was holding. Could wisdom be a form of love too? The officer walked her outside to the gate. He studied the place where the ribbon had been. He explained what it might mean. A marker. A signal. A test. Lena felt her knees go weak. Because her home had been labeled. They checked the side of the house. Near the yard line. There, faint and small, was a chalk mark. Easy to miss. Easy to deny. Lena covered her mouth with her hand. Tears rose fast. Tessa put a hand on her shoulder. Firm. Present. Lena whispered, "I kept saying it was fine." Tessa said, "Not anymore." The officer helped them plan steps. Lights. Cameras. Different routines. Trusted neighbors. Lena listened like her life depended on it. Because it did. Why did safety start with finally believing herself? In the days after, nothing dramatic happened. And that almost felt strange. But Lena's spirit changed. She stopped forcing peace. She started practicing discernment. Not fear. Discernment. She prayed before opening the door. Before answering unknown calls. Sometimes she heard nothing. And still chose wisdom. One evening, Mr. Harlan waved at her. This time, his face looked relieved. Lena waved back and smiled. Not the old smile that pleased everyone. A calmer smile. One that belonged to truth. Maybe God didn't save her with noise. Maybe he saved her with a nudge. Lena never found out every detail. And maybe she didn't need to. What mattered was the shift inside her. She stopped calling danger fine. She learned something holy and simple. God's guidance isn't always loud. Sometimes it comes as a ribbon you didn't tie. A dream that refuses to fade. If this story stayed with you, let it be known. You can support these stories by liking the video. If you've ever felt a quiet warning, share it below. And if you want more untold faith stories, subscribe and stay close. Also, if you're looking for faith-building books or resources, check the description when you're ready. Because some danger doesn't shout. It knocks politely.